has taken over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast.
Well, Carver High, as Mafia knows, I am always repping for the community, and tomorrow is the annual trip to see Dr. Garden for the Ferrall State exam. Always a pleasant experience having my prostate explored and spun for the sake of the silent killer. And remember, if you're over 40, you better start doing it yourself because it's a sneaky one. You don't want any part of prostate cancer. I'm going tomorrow for that annual bend over, and believe me, he knows when to yell Charlie. Carver High, what a pleasant way to start the second hour.
Yeah, good old Dr. Gardner. It's that time of year again. All right, NFL, Scotty. Week 2 of the preseason came to a close last night out in the Meadowlands at MetLife. Jets beat the Falcons 24-16. Falcons had a 16-0 lead in this game. That was when a lot of their better players were in. Desmond Ridder went 10 of 13 for $143, had 2 field goal drives, also made a couple of costly mistakes. Here's Arthur Smith, Mr. Tough Guy, afterwards, Scotty. He was not thrilled with the second half performance by his Falcons.
I thought we had a productive week up here. What's frustrating was some of the stuff that happened in the second half. That's what I said. I apologize. You guys had to watch some of that, but we'll get better. You find out a lot about young guys. I mean, some of the guys that you live with the first time mistakes. It's when if you got people that repeat the same ones over and over, that's stuff that can be frustrating. So we'll get it cleaned up. The guys are always, our guys' effort was there, but there's things that certainly those young guys will learn from.
Listen, as you know, I am a buyer on Ridder. I think he's going to have a great career in the NFL. I think he's exciting. Not only that, I know people say I'm crazy. I think he's a better quarterback than Mariota ever was or will be. This kid has all kinds of talent. I mean to tell you, I thought Mariota was a good college quarterback without a doubt, right? And I think Ridder was a better one. And, I mean, this kid has stepped into the NFL in short order and has lit it up every time he's touched the field. Before you know it, he's going to be the quarterback of the future for the Atlanta Falcons. Count on that happening. And I really like this kid, Pitts. There's no doubt he's a stud.
Yeah.
London. I don't think they're good now. I think they're an atrocity right now. I think they're going to lose a lot of games. But down the road, and I hate to say that because nobody cares about down the road, but I do. I think in 3 or 4 years they'll be back to winning again.
Look, I think it's a very, very tough line, and we've seen this forever now in the NFL, Scotty. You've got a quarterback that you just drafted. You think he's going to be your future. You don't want to throw him in the deep end too quickly. You know that your team is going to suck. You got a guy like Mariota that you brought in as kind of like a placeholder. When do you make the move to kind of give Ridder the reins and see if he could do it? Are you just having Mariota start the season to say that you're trying, and then when you're 2-7, you let Ridder play the last 2 months of the year?
Yes.
Like, is that, or do you just throw Ridder in the deep end and hope that he has that he's mentally tough enough to not get discouraged by bad times throughout the early of the year? That's why it's so hard with young quarterbacks.
Well, I think he'd get exposed if he started immediately against frontline first-team units and defenses in the NFL. He'll see packages he's never seen before in college.
Right.
From a defensive standpoint, coaching would kill him. But I think after he watches 8 to 10 games and learns from their coaches in Atlanta and from watching other coaches, ply their trade on their games. When he's on the sideline, he's got to watch and learn what they're doing to the Falcons defensively, these defenses that they're up against, the first team units, so he can learn and adjust. When he goes in, he'll be better adapted to all of it. I think that's the scene. He's not ready to go. All these fans and media think guys are ready. Throw him in there to the Wolves. Dangerous way to make a living, boy. In the NFL, it's pain day, son. We welcome all of our radio affiliates. Sirius XM channel 159 is the greatest thing ever. And we love SportsMap and Sports Byline USA.
On the other side of things, Scotty, the Jets, of course, won the game. They did not play anybody of significance against the Falcons. Here is head coach Robert Saleh. He says that will change this week in their final preseason game against the Giants. Expect to see some of the Jet heavies for the final tune-up.
The ultimate decision came down to the fact that we're scrimmaging with New York on Thursday. I do want to treat this week as a dress rehearsal. Felt like it would be a heavy load to play in this game. Much rather got a good workout with all those guys, which we did. Practice Thursday, have a dress rehearsal, and then call it a preseason.
So will they play in the fourth preseason?
That's the plan, yeah. That's the plan.
Listen, I don't know, Carver High, if you watched that last night, but I thought,
little bit, yeah.
You know, I got to be honest with you. I thought the kid that came into the game in the second half,
Streveler?
this kid, Streveler, I thought he played his ass off, and he had speed for a white boy. That guy was running all over the field, and he was taking the ball and saying, I want to make this team. He had some stones, and I got to tell you, this is just me. I think White sucks, and if I'm going to pick some guy that's, you know, your third stringer, I'm going to go with that kid that I saw running all over the field, diving all over, taking hits. I love that kid. I think White's kind of a pea.
Sports Grid, your 24/7 sports wagering network.
They play less games.
The early line.
Take a look at the top 4 seeds here in the Big Ten. They're going to play less.
Rodgers and
the morning
Russell
after.
Wilson. We saw movement in the marketplace like
Orlando
Fantasy
Magic.
sports
the
today.
Cleveland Cavaliers are a little thin as well.
Newswire.
Minus 160 favorite on the money line today for Arizona.
Ferrall coast to
CBG,
coast.
that's where they win cups. They win Stanley Cups over there. Give me the
Game
Penguins.
time
kind of
decisions.
bizarre when you consider everybody is out for the Warriors.
In-game live
I
all
like
access.
I like Vandy against Bama. I think Vandy can win the game, take it 4.5.
In-game live, prime time. In-game live, overtime.
All done before the final bet.
Get the winning edge. Only on Sports Grid. The morning after.
Are you concerned at all for what this means for Tom at the age of 45, entering his 23rd year?
Definitely not concerned. I think it's something to contemplate, but I think it's something where when you've been doing this so long, you know, I mean, you're a veteran now of television. If Ben Stevens takes a week off, Ben Stevens is going to show up and do his job. Now, magnify that times 20 plus, right? And that's Tom Brady.
The Sports Grid Network. Ferrall coast to coast.
I mean, honestly, between Davis and Diggs, I mean, they are lethal. I mean, between Josh Allen having that choice, and he goes to Davis a lot, and he's got to get on his targets. But between the two of them, I mean, honestly, it's almost like good luck trying to stop that offense. They are very dangerous.
The Sports Grid Network.
Sports Professor Rick Horrow inside the $1.3 trillion business of sports with your Sports News Minute. Remember we talked about how important it is for Major League Baseball to capture the fan experience and make sure they love the baseball game when we're at the park. Well, here's another example of loving a game when you're at the park. But how about golf? An 11,000 square foot simulation experience at American Family Field in Milwaukee by a golf company to get people interested in taking practice swings, to get a golf simulator used like every other golf simulator, pace, height, distance, all of those issues, but you can do it while the Brewers are playing. And you can even do it when the Brewers on the road. This will be open and available for other kinds of events as well. If this goes well, watch for all other baseball stadiums in the country to take notice in some context. Clearly, fan engagement a top priority.
All right, Carver High. You got a lot of games. The final week of the preseason, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, even a doubleheader. One of them's in Pittsburgh. The Lions and Steelers, a rematch of their tie game last year. Same spot in Pittsburgh. I refuse to call it by its new name.
Yeah, the game of the year last year, right? That Lions-Steeler tie that you went to. One of the highlights of the NFL season for sure. Here it is, the final week of preseason NFL football. All the games, Scotty. Thursday, there's 2. There's 3 games for you Friday night. Big slate on Saturday. And then, as you mentioned, Lions-Steelers and the Snoopy Bowl between the Jets and the Giants on Sunday. And once we get through these games, Scotty, that's it. It's pain day time for real, baby. We get to real football. Bills and Rams 2 weeks from Thursday night out at SoFi. Let's go. Let's go.
I mean, that is just delicious. And then this Saturday, we've got a slew of crappy college football games to watch, which is all I need. I don't care who's playing. There's college football Saturday. I don't care. The worse the game, the better. I'm all for it. And then pro football in 2 weeks. Are you kidding me? It's 2 weeks from this Thursday? I mean, I'm horny right now. You may have to wash me off.
Let's go. And yes, I am looking forward to. Many aren't. I'm looking forward to Vandy and
one other note
on Saturday night at 10:30. Yes.
Oh, I know you got a lot of money on that one. One other note: there is a couple of good games. Just if you like, good games on paper. The Packers and Chiefs this Thursday. The Pats and Raiders on Friday night. That'll be good for Carver and Lisi. And I mean, that's just. Those stand out to me. Even Vikes Broncos in Denver on Saturday night. That one's on NFL Network. And then that doubleheader on Sunday. I don't know, Carver. Do you think I should maybe stun 34C with a little, surprise, I think I'll go to the Steeler-Lion game this weekend and see what kind of trouble I can get into.
You're gonna burn a trip on a preseason game? You don't want to do that.
Well,
you don't want to burn.
I don't get to go to any regular season games.
I know.
I don't get to go to one game. I'm going to see the Steelers play the Colts on Monday Night Football. I think it's November 28th. Surprise, Sports Grid. I'm going to that one because I'm showing my son Indiana that next day on Tuesday. So I'm going to go to one game, but it won't be in Pittsburgh. It'll be in Naptown. But I can't go to any Steeler games because I'm doing in-game live now on Sundays.
That is correct. All right, so we have this final slate for preseason week 3. Let's hear from some of these guys after yesterday, Scotty. Let's start in Carolina, where Matt Rule has named Baker Mayfield the starting quarterback. Here's Baker, Scotty, talking about winning the job and, of course, facing his former team in week 1, the Browns. Here's Baker.
Just said that, obviously he thought I won the job and just be able to move forward. It's about winning, and still just how the whole situation was that he respected the way Sam and I handled it, and I think that speaks volumes obviously again to Sam and just how we tried to conduct it all about winning and about the team. That's the first and foremost. We were competing, but it was always about the team and trying to win. So Coach Rule made sure to continue to emphasize that, and just going forward, that's always going to be the emphasis. Right now I'm just trying to get this schedule down. We're doing kind of a mock game week leading up to this Buffalo Bills game, and when that time comes, 3 weeks from now, we're going to handle prepping for Cleveland. Obviously, there's a lot of attachment there. I'm not going to, like I told you guys at Wofford, I'm not going to sit here and be a robot and say that it doesn't mean anything. It will, but right now all that matters is me and continuing to improve until this regular season starts.
Well, it's going to be interesting for me because Adam Kaplan has sold the Panthers like they're going to the Super Bowl. He loves them to make the playoffs.
I do too.
And then
I do too.
I want to see what this kid does against the Browns because everybody else puts the Browns, in the playoffs. I'm not putting them in any playoffs without Deshaun Watson until week 12. So you can have that Jacoby Brissett. I'll eat brisket over in the corner with Mafia in Dallas and Broke Elam or whatever the hell it's called. All I know is I want to see that kid beat the Browns to get revenge on what they did to him. I thought he was a good quarterback for them. I thought the entire 21 season he played with a torn labrum on his non-throwing shoulder, and I think it affected him. He tried to be a badass. You cannot do that in the NFL. Like, pretend like the pain and agony isn't affecting you and go out there and tough it out for the team. That doesn't work. So I think there's a lot going on in that game. And I also don't believe a word that he said that it didn't bother Sam Darnold. They were professional and that they were all about the team. Sam at least said it sucks he didn't get the job. But I know this much. He is, I believe, I could be wrong, he might be the highest paid backup in the NFL, Sam Darnold.
He is 1,000% the highest paid backup in the NFL. That is what Carolina will have this year. And he was, I like honesty. At least he said it. Of course it's going to mean something to me. How many times do we get these guys facing their old teams? It doesn't matter. It's just another game. At least he admits it. He says it's going to mean something that week, no doubt about it. And I'm also on the Carolina train. I'm on the over 6.5. I think he's going to do well there. I think they're going to have a good year. I do. So I'm buying Carolina as well as Adam Kaplan. I don't know about the playoffs yet, but I'm buying that over 6.5 win total, Scotty. That's for sure. Let's go to Green Bay next. Last week, of course, Aaron Rodgers was given the business to some of the younger guys. They need to do a little better, be a little sharper. Yesterday, one of the reporters, Scotty, wanted to ask Aaron if he thought maybe if you showed up to minicamp and spent a little more time with the young receivers, they'd be a little more ready. Aaron wasn't exactly a fan of that question, Scotty. He says that that's not the case at all. He enjoys his time off, and he deals with the receivers now. Here's Aaron.
Do you think some of these younger guys would be further along if he does some of the OTAs with them?
Not really. Training camp is a long experience. There's plenty of time for conversations, for practice, for a lot of the things that we expect them to do in the regular season. I rely on the coaching staff to pass on the message as we're learning the offense. And then, I'm kind of the 202 professor. They got to get the kind of the base concepts. And when I come in, we have the offense outside of the paper offense.
The head coach.
I feel like there's been a few guys who've made a jump mentally as we've gotten into the second and third week of camp. Sammy being one of them. I feel like he's been playing faster and making more precise decisions. But again, you got to have realistic expectations for all our guys, not just the young players.
Well, I just really don't care about his training camp issues with young receivers. But I'll say this. I do not buy any more Sammy Watkins and Randall Cobb. I just do not buy them. They both get injured when the wind blows. And when they start getting snow and cold up there, those two guys won't be playing. They never are. So they're going to have to rely on these young receivers like Watson that they drafted out of North Dakota State. And you've heard about all the drop passes and everything else. Listen, if there's one thing that guy doesn't need to do, it's go to training camp or to know the offense. The offense is Aaron Rodgers, and he throws great passes. And if they drop him, it's on them. This guy throws breadbasket passes every time he plays. And if you're going to blame anybody, blame their crappy receivers. I do not like their receiving core. I told you before, you have to pay the price for losing Devontae Adams. It just has to be. There has to be a price paid for that. Penance. So I am telling you, they're going to regret it.
I think that by the end of the year, Dubs is going to be the guy. Dubs is going to be the guy for them. Not Watson, not these other guys. The guy Dubs out of Nevada caught a great touchdown from Love on Friday night in that game against the Saints. He's made a bunch of great catches in training camp.
Right.
That's going to be the guy that I think Rodgers will latch onto. All right, we'll come back, Scotty.
Fair enough.
We've got some Bill
see.
Belichick. We've got Nathaniel Hackett. And we have Mike McDaniel's Daily Media Moment, Scotty, for you. Daily Media Moment from Mike McDaniel.
I like that guy.
Your heart's racing. The clock's running out. It all comes down to this. We're talking pregame. 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 Get locked in with Game Time Decisions. Your hosts, Gabe Morency and Cam Stewart, will get you ready for game time. Everything you need to know before a game goes off the board, with the bet slips to back it up. Make your best bet with live odds updates, late breaking news, up-to-the-minute injury reports, and real-time analytics from inside the sportsbooks. All the odds, all the action, from sports wagering insiders and industry pros like Donnie Rightside, Gam Lou, Cousin Sal, the Pro Football Doc, Dr. David Chow, and more. Get the winning edge every weekday afternoon from 6 to 7 p.m. Eastern, 3 to 4 Pacific. It's Game Time Decisions. Only on Sports Grid.
You might be the next daily fantasy millionaire. No matter what you watch or where you play, learn from the world's best DFS players. Lineup building tools, expert projections, and advanced stats change the way you play the game. Dominate the competition. DailyRoto.com, the player's choice.
Fantasy Sports Today.
The running back that appears to make the biggest jump maybe in the last 2 months, maybe in all of fantasy, honestly, Davis, is Dameon Pierce, who played for the University of Florida. And the beef that went on at Florida, Davis, is that people wanted to see him get the ball more. He really was never a primary running back at Florida. He's sort of a throwback guy in the sense that you give him the ball, he's never going to lose yards.
The Sports Grid Network. The morning after.
How are you targeting, Tom, the start for Sonny Gray today against the Rangers?
And that has me going to the over on 5.5 strikeouts. It's only sitting at -108. For the season, Sonny Gray has a 24.3% strikeout rate, but in 4 of his last 5 starts, he's been over that rate on a game-by-game basis, really boosting up that strikeout rate, which is good. Favorable matchup day with 23.5% strikeout rate versus righties, which is the 8th worst in the league. He's coming off of a 10 strikeout performance in his most recent start.
The Sports Grid Network. Ferrall, coast to coast.
I mean, honestly, between Davis and Diggs, I mean, they are lethal. I mean, between Josh Allen having that choice, and he goes to Davis a lot, and he's got to get Stephon his targets. But between the two of them, I mean, honestly, it's almost like good luck trying to stop that offense. They are very dangerous.
The Sports Grid Network.
Carver, I don't know if you knew this or not, but like Erin Andrews has the clothing line now. Have you ever seen her thing with football? Now she's got a baseball line as well. And I don't know if you knew it, but I saw a couple of things. One, she's got Sports Grid and Sports Grid TV clothes that are now available. And then last night when she interviewed Kyle Pitts during the game, I don't know if you noticed, the towel that he had on, the NFL towel that he had on his head during the interview, if you noticed on the side of his head, like right over here on the side of his head, it did say at Sports Grid and at Sports Grid TV. You had to be looking closely, but I always am looking for the genius of our Rebecca Harrelson in the marketing division of our social media agenda.
I did see the towel last night. Yes, tremendous job as always. Let's keep rolling here with the NFL. Here's your daily dose of Mike McDaniel, Dolphins head coach, Scotty. Yesterday, one of the reporters tried to ask him, will any of the regulars not be ready to go for week 1? Maybe on the PUP list, maybe on injured reserve, etc. McDaniel was not falling for that, Scotty. Here we go.
Aside from Byron Jones, is there anyone on the team whose status you think is in question for the regular season opener?
Is that loaded?
Well, Byron, I know you...
That was loaded as... Come on. All right. Yeah, stop giving me the rookie treatment, okay? All right? I'm prepared for this. So, what?
Outside of Byron Jones, whose status, must play out. I know you said you're optimistic for the opener. Outside of him, is there a question about anyone else's availability?
He knows he's got him.
September 11th, based on the injury information you've got.
There's, I think all the guys that we've discussed that are on the active roster, there's no surprises.
I mean, that was just hilarious. So the guy obviously has the media by the stones, and he's so good at it now in short order that he's even laughing at his own jokes. He spit out laughter there, realizing how funny he is in the moment with this gig. The one thing I'm concerned about, because I lived down there forever, who wears a hoodie with long sleeves in Miami in late August besides no one on earth? It is a buck outside. It feels like a $130 with the Vietnamese humidity. It is drenching sweat hot down there every day. And this bro's wearing like hoodies like he's living in Buffalo. Like, are you kidding me? Every day we see him, he's got a long sleeve shirt on with a hoodie. No one does that. He must be pitting out or something.
But he's having some fun, that's for sure. We'll see if the laughs continue once the regular season starts for Mike McDaniel. Let's go to Nathaniel Hackett, Scotty. He, of course, is the new head coach of the Denver Broncos. The great Nate. They got destroyed by the Bills last Saturday in Buffalo. You don't see it much for preseason games, but Hackett apologizes to the fan base for the awful performance.
Well, first thing I tell the fans is I'm sorry for that game 2 days ago, because that is not what we're looking for. But I mean, I think the fans will understand more, when we get all the way to Week 17 or all those things. And it goes with all those guys, Cortland, Jerry, all those guys. We want to see them in real games. We want that to happen. And it's looking at my past, I mean, heck, we were 0-3 in the preseason last year with the Green Bay Packers, and those guys didn't play. But in the end, they were healthy and they were strong as we finished throughout that season. So that's what you're always looking for.
Here's another one. Kaplan's got Denver going to the Super Bowl. It's going to be Denver, Carolina in the Super Bowl. Yeah. I am not buying them. If they're so great defensively, remember how great they are. That they're just so vaunted defensively.
Great.
And they don't even make the playoffs. Yeah. So I'm calm down city on the Broncos. And I also am not buying Russell Wilson. That he's Peyton Manning. I thought his best years were in Seattle. And I think you're getting the tail end of him. And I don't deny he's got talent, but are you buying him to go win a Super Bowl in Denver at any point? At any point?
No, I am not. And that team was not a quarterback away from winning a championship the last few years.
They were a lot of things away.
They were a lot of things away, and in my opinion, there's still a lot of things away.
Never have I ever.
I cannot believe how high everybody is on them just because they got Russell Wilson. I think they're in for a rude awakening, especially in that division. They're in for a rude awakening, especially with the Chiefs, the Chargers, who also never get it done, and the Raiders sitting there on their doorstep in the AFC West. That's going to be a very tough scene for them, that's for sure.
I still think the Raiders and Chiefs are the two best teams. And everybody else has the Chargers. Everyone's got the Chargers winning that division and going to the Super Bowl in big NFL circles. And here's another team that never makes the playoffs.
I'm with you. I'm on the Raiders to make the playoffs this year. I think they're going to be good. I think it'll be better. They made the playoffs last year. People said they were lucky. Whatever. They're better this year with Adams and Chandler Jones and other moves that they've made. Raiders
and their coach.
And the coach. I think the coach is an improvement. I think he learned a lot of lessons for the first time in Denver, going back to Bill, learning some things. I think McDaniels is going to be
and now they got Brady and Gronk on as backups. It's going to be great.
Yes, they got Brady and Gronk. Speaking of Brady, as we know,
and that mother Ferrall Carr,
the Messiah returned to Tampa yesterday after his 11 days off that everybody in the world was so worried about where he was for 11 days. Now, this is twofold here. Here's Cameron Brate, the tight end for the Bucs. Now, not only, Scotty, does he say something that we all believe, which is that it's Tom Brady, he could do whatever he wants. But the other reason why we play Cameron Brate is because the mustache is just so outstanding on this guy that it's worth a loan to play. Here's Cameron Brate.
Pretty much as expected, I'm sure wherever Tom was, he was working out still and getting his reps in. If anyone can get away with the 11-day break during training camp is Tom, and yeah, he came back, kind of firing all cylinders again today. So yeah, we're all excited he's back and ready to move on with that. Yeah.
That's a great
As
mustache.
you know, Carver High, I am on the New York Yankees non-facial hair discussion list at Sports Grid.
Your boy Brait right there. That thing is thick. I hope he keeps that going throughout the entire season.
That's the first time I've ever seen that guy's face, ever.
Yeah. All right, it's Bill Belichick time, Scotty. Now, we have finally found what makes Bill Belichick smile, what makes Bill Belichick more talkative. It's that fresh Vegas desert air. That is what uncorks Bill Belichick. So the Patriots are out in Vegas to have some joint practices with the Raiders today and tomorrow. They'll play them at Allegiant on Friday night. So a week long out in the desert. Now, this is a quick clip, but here's Bill having a little fun with the media. And now we know where Bill's hanging out. He's hanging out where Ferrall hangs out during the day before the show. Very quick clip of Bill here.
How are we doing here in Vegas?
Sweating.
Nice pool here. It's pretty tempting.
nice pool
Look
here.
at Bill hitting the pool. There's a lot of action at the pool.
A lot of smiles. Pool looks
Wet
pretty
Republic.
impressive. Wants to get involved, right? So then he starts talking to the media. He talks for about 6 minutes about how great Las Vegas is. The training facilities are great. Everything about this place is great. The weather, this, that, the other. Then gets into a whole thing about Al Davis. I know how much you love Al Davis, Scotty. So and this is what's the beauty about Bill Belichick. When you ask him a question that he genuinely cares about, he will give you like a 5-minute college-level course answer about a subject. And he went on for a long time about Al Davis. Here's some of the highlights.
You know, I spent a day, with him when I interviewed in Oakland in, what was it, 98, after the 98 season. And, spent a lot of time with Mr. Davis. And we've had a good relationship through the years. Did some deals, the Burgess deal, the Moss deal, and those
got him on that
5-minute conversations.
The Moss deal.
Multiple weeks, maybe even months, to bring equality and opportunity to so many, and his championship level of performance and the standard that he set for himself and his teams and the organization are historical, and it's tremendous man, and it was a huge influence on professional football. I'm sure the game would be a lot different if it wasn't for him. Different today than if it wasn't for him. So, I think we're all indebted for what he's done to help this game, and certainly as a coach and as a professional in the game. And to me, he's one of the Mount Rushmore guys.
Yeah, I think he was a Titan. It's real simple. I think he killed Pete Rozelle, and I think he was smarter than Rozelle, and I thought Rozelle was powerful, very, incredible executive in the NFL's history. And I just thought Al Davis set a bar so high. I really believe that he'd be proud of his son, who a lot of people think is a tool or a goofball or whatever, and that's not the case. He's turned that operation into a very valuable multi-billion-dollar entity. And I think the Raiders, in short order, will become, with the Cowboys, the most explosive financial reward in the league.
Sports Grid, your 24/7 sports wagering network.
They play less games.
The early line.
Take a look at the top 4 seeds here in the Big Ten. They're going to play less.
Rodgers and
the morning
Russell
after.
Wilson. We saw movement in the marketplace like Orlando
Fantasy
Magic.
sports
The
today.
Cleveland Cavaliers are a little thin as well.
Newswire.
Minus 160 favorite on the money line today for Arizona.
Pharrell coast to
BBG,
coast.
that's where they win cups. Stanley Cups over there. Give me the
Game
Penguins.
time decisions.
Bizarre when you consider everybody is out for the Warriors.
In-game live all access.
I like Vandy against Bama. I think Vandy can win the game.
Game live, prime time.
The PGA champion.
In-game live, overtime.
All done before the final bet.
Get the winning edge. Only on Sports Grid. The early line.
I don't like this Pitt team at all. It's a 7.5 with a lot of juice right now in the FanDuel Sportsbook towards the under. Flip to the 8. Maybe they're 8.5. And let's talk a little turkey here with Pitt. With Pitt versus Miami for the Coastal, is I do think Pitt found themselves the easier schedule, and perhaps the big difference is one of them goes to Clemson, the other one doesn't play him at all.
Only on Sports Grid. Fantasy Sports Today.
Nico Collins, who got some nice playing time toward the end of the year. Not a lot of interest. His ADP is 217.
I think
217.
I think Nico Collins is sort of interesting in the same way that like Devin Funchess was interesting, right? Because he's this super athletic guy. He's huge, 6'4", 215. I mean, he got on the field as a rookie. Not that many guys who are drafted where Nico Collins was drafted.
Ferrall, coast to coast.
Do you believe he has the stones to fire both of them?
I don't. I think Boone is safe, no matter what happens. Maybe if they don't win the East, but that's almost impossible. So I think he's safe. Cashman's contract, I believe, is up after this year. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I would think he'd be in a lot more trouble than Boone would.
The Sports Grid Network.
When I talk about the Raiders being a NFL financial reward for Davis, Mark is now made the team worth over $5 billion. It's actually worth over $6.2 billion, Mike. They had well over $1.5 billion in debt with the building of the Allegiant Stadium and their new training facilities out in Henderson. So the bottom line is this. His father would be absolutely thrilled at what Mark has done. Instead of leaving him in dumpy, Oakland in the East Bay in that atrocity of a stadium where the A's play, which is a joke, and they're ready to move to Vegas too. He moved them to Las Vegas, and in 2 years, they shot up. They're right behind the Dallas Cowboys now in valuation. The Cowboys are worth up to $8 billion now. I told you many times over the last 5-6 years that I felt that the Raiders within a decade would be the most valuable franchise in the NFL because of being in Las Vegas. I think Mark's done a great job with the Raiders. I look up to his father like no other, and I'm a Steeler fan, and we hate the Raiders. But I respected that man so much, and he was such a renegade and a titan, and his ability to annoy Rozelle and the NFL in court and winning lawsuits against the NFL. No one wins lawsuits against the NFL except Al Davis.
Bill Belichick approves as well, Scotty. He's going to enjoy his time by the pool this week out in Las Vegas. Maybe we'll find Bill, sitting at one of those slot machines like we can. What was that, Coach K a couple months ago? We saw Coach K sitting at the slots. Maybe we'll find Bill playing some slots this week.
Remember the night I hit the Wheel of Fortune? I was very excited.
Yes. Bill's going to try that this week. Last one for you from the NFL, of course. We've been talking about this Roquan Smith thing with the Bears the last few weeks. He's tired of waiting on them, Scotty. He basically said, screw you. I'm going to play this year, and then I'll just leave. I'm going to bet on myself and go get some money elsewhere. Here's Roquan Smith.
I thought it was very distasteful, to say the least. Wasn't what I anticipated, nor did I like what I expected from the situation. But I'm grateful for the fans, all the loyal fans, and everyone that the players as well in the locker room and the city of Chicago that stood behind me throughout this process, and it means a lot to myself. But now I'm just shifting my focus to the season, and more so just focused on being the best teammate I can be to those guys in the locker room. It's my last year of my deal, and hey, I'm just gonna take it, run with it, bet on myself like I've always done. And the negotiations are over right now, so it's more so I'm just focused on the season, going out there being the best bear I can be, because I owe that to the guys in the locker room and to the city and all the loyal fans out there.
Yeah, in Portuguese, what that means is he's finished in Chicago, and the minute that contract's up, he is out of there because he hates the ownership and front office of the Bears. And I think, and I have to say this, it is the most embarrassing thing I've ever seen in the NFL, what has happened to the Chicago Bears. They just absolutely do not matter anymore. I mean, literally. And their front office has changed so many times, it's like changing toilet paper in your house. The front office, the GM, the coach, the ownership has been a disaster. The city of Chicago has turned on the McCaskies. George Halas is rolling in his grave. And to treat their best player this way, he gone. I mean, just like that, he gone. Count on that. That guy's out of Chicago after this year. He's going to be like, your boy Ferguson in Fast Times at Ridgemont High when he plays this year with smoke coming out of his ears. He's going to destroy quarterbacks, and he's going to get that bag. He's going to be out of there faster than you can spit.
Jesse Bates will end his holdout with the Bengals. He's going to sign his franchise tag and go and play. So nice move for him. Just misses all of training camp. Nothing wrong with that. Raiders set to release running back Kenyon Drake. Jared Goff will not play against the Steelers on Sunday, Lions' final preseason game. Tony Busby, Scotty, wants the NFL to take immediate action against Alvin Kamara after they did against Deshaun Watson. He wants.
Well, I think Alvin Kamara better be careful because look who he's dealing with. This guy gets his way every time. I mean, this lawyer is a pain in the ass. And I mean, he gonna get his. That guy is in all kinds of deep hot water with this Busby all circling him. I mean, he's circling him like a bee with honey all over you. Yep. I mean, that guy's doomed. Kamara might as well start getting himself a really good lawyer because he got a problem on his hands.
Certainly does. There was Aaron Donald's retirement talk after the Rams won the Super Bowl this year, Scotty. He says he plans to play through at least next season, 2023. Lions put Jamison Williams on the PUP. He'll miss at least the first 4. Commanders do the same for Chase Young. Of course, he's coming back from the injury as well. And the Commanders will retire Sonny Jurgensen's number, Scotty, this season down there at FedEx Field.
I will never forget when I met him. I went into the booth before a Redskins game in D.C. because I was on JFK in D.C. when I was syndicated there out of Los Angeles. And they brought Ferrall on a bench in before the game. And I think they were playing the Eagles, and I went in, and they had me do something on the air with their broadcast team. And when I started talking with this voice, Sonny Jurgensen's face literally fell off his face, and he was so offended by me even being in that booth. I mean, if there's one thing I've learned in 40 years of doing this, I can usually tell when people don't like me. I got a real good cat sense right there. My man just did not like me. Your boy Sonny Jurgensen hated Ferrall, and I could tell he wanted me out of that booth fast. And I was like, okay, Krusty, calm down. I'm only here for 5 minutes. And now they're retiring his number. He's about 140 now, and I'm headed there myself, actually.
There you go. Your NFL news for today. We've got baseball to get to. Big slate tonight. Let's talk about a couple of things from last night first. Yankees beat the Mets at the stadium, Scotty, up in the Bronx, 4-2 last night. Max Scherzer not very sharp for the Mets, Scotty, including giving up number 47 to Aaron Judge on the Yes Network.
Driven to deep right field. Marte back, turning, looking. See ya. There's the home run. Number 47 in the Yankees lead 2-0.
I mean, as he goes, they go, right? And they needed that win last night. I thought Scherzer would beat them the way they've been playing, so what do I know?
Yep. Here's Judge afterwards, Scotty. He had gone 9 games without a home run. Last one was in Fenway a couple of weekends back. Judge didn't know that he was in a home run drought. Here he is.
For you to break the home run drought that you had 10 games.
Home run drought? I don't know.
For you.
That's news to me. You know, I really don't really worry about that. You know, I'm just happy to barrel something up and, you know, add to the lead that we already had against, you know, like I said, one of the most important games.
I mean, he's just like Jeter. He's perfect.
Look, it's hard to tell a guy you're in a home run drought when you've got 47 homers on August the 23rd. Like, it's real hard to go up to a guy and be like, you're in a bit of a home run drought. Dude's
well,
got
we already
47.
know. We already know they send the hungry dogs into the post game. You know, the hungry dogs they send in to do those interviews. Very hungry.
I know they do. They sure do. Did you like when Rizzo told Lindor to shut the Ferrall up last night?
Yes.
After that play where he had to go back, that was awesome. I thought that was great from Anthony Rizzo last night. Good job.
You know what's
by
funny?
him.
A kid came in my house last night. It was his last night before going to college, and he's friends with my son, and I play a lot of ball with this kid. He's a great basketball player, and I know the kid really well. And he walked in. I didn't see him coming. I was watching a Yankee game. I didn't see him all coming in. Like 6 boys came into my son's room, and I saw the kid, and he said, you know they're going to lose that game. And I was like, shut the Ferrall up. And then I wished him well at college. I also said to him, don't die down there. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah. Don't do anything stupid. You know, come back in one piece and live it up and get laid. Are we on the air right now, Mark?
There you go. Yes.
No?
Yes, we are. We are. Max Scherzer passed Pedro Martinez, 13th on the all-time strikeout list. Jacob deGrom was supposed to start against the Yankees tonight. Buck calls the audible. He'll now start Thursday against the Rockies at home, and Taijuan Walker will start against the Yankees tonight. Very, very curious. There you go. No, he said he wanted to split up Scherzer and deGrom, Scott. He didn't want them starting on back-to-back days. Get a little separation in the rotation. Yankees have been scuffling. Yes, go ahead.
And Walker hasn't been pitching well. He's had problems lately, so I don't like his chances tonight. And obviously, deGrom will eat up the Rockies.
Oh, he sure will. No question about that. Obviously, the Yankees have been scuffling. But before these 2 wins the last 2 days, Brian Cashman did check in with the media before the game last night, Scotty. Wanted to let everybody know that he has all the confidence in the world in his team, his manager, and everything in the Yankee organization. Here's Brian.
He's stressed
Bruce got my belief. I believe strongly in them. I think they're still capable of everything we ever hoped and dreamed. And but we have to weather the storm first and foremost. Yes, there was a nice win. But we need to string together, obviously, a lot as we move forward here and earn our playoff spot and then take our shot.
You know, honestly, 13 years of this guy blowing smoke up our took. All I know is I'm done with it. I don't even invite him on anymore after he used to do the homeless show with me. When he sleeps out on the streets, I don't even want that anymore. I'm so sick of listening to this guy every year when they fail, make excuses. I really am. I'm done with it.
Well, he might not be making too many more after this season, depending on how it goes. The Yankees will get Giancarlo Stanton back Thursday night in Oakland, Scotty, for the start of a very long road trip. The Yankees will play 4 in Oakland, 3 in Anaheim, 3 in Tampa over the next week and a half after their home game with the Mets tonight. Very long trip for them. The Cubs and the Cardinals, Scotty, like you said, are playing 5 games at Wrigley. Last night was the first one. They are playing this afternoon. 2-0 Cubs in the 7th right now, Scotty. But last night, a 1-0 game. Jordan Montgomery throws a complete game shutout for the Cardinals. You talked about it with Scoop Mish earlier. But how did the Cardinals score that 1 run, Scotty? Number 693 for Albert Pujols on Bally Sports Midwest.
The 1-2. And Pujols hits it out to deep left. At the wall! Gone! 693! 693 home runs. A historic home run the 449th different pitcher he's hit a home run against. He's tied with Bonds, first all time. Also his 30th career homer at Wrigley. 6-9-3.
Yeah, I got to be honest with you. I think it's really cool and everything, but it's not as cool as when McGuire and Sosa were doing it, and when they were chasing the historic numbers that they cheated to get. I still enjoyed that way more, even though they were cheating. There's no comparison. This is just like, whatever, is he going to make it or not? It's cool, but it's not like that. I'll never forget that summer. They broke away from every broadcast to show their at-bats.
Yeah. And I'm with you. It's not at that level. I think the only thing that would get to that level, if Judge gets to 60 in the last week of the season, I think people would want to see him get to 61 or 62.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. We'll see. It's going to be close.
If you want to pick like a pro, you need to be in the know. The future of sports gaming is now, and we take you inside the lines, breaking down all the action and what it means for your bet slip. Turn down the game and tune into Sports Grid Radio. Other networks talk sports talk, but we walk the walk, right up to the window. Sports Grid Radio.
Listen free on the Sports Grid Radio app, iHeart, or TuneIn, or catch us on Sirius XM Sports Grid Channel 159.
Maurice Allen, 2015-2016 European Long Drive Tour champion, 2017 world number 1. Me personally, I keep my game face on me all the time. Especially coming out of the bunker, leaving the range, or even leaving the course. What's your story?
The morning after.
Why are you buying in on Dylan's stock for 2022?
Aaron Jones has been remarkably consistent for the Packers, and I kind of see him playing almost Alvin Kamara role in the slot, sitting about wide. And I think they're going to try and save him from taking this, ground and pound, and they're going to leave that role to A.J. Dillon to have this kind of more of a balanced approach because they need a little more consistency in their passing game. I think it helps that the Packers' offensive line is right now ranked 5th.
The Sports Grid Network. The Early Line.
Football is always so much fun because you see new players literally every single year, and the anticipation is stupendous once it gets underway. And we're really close to that. A 12:30 game overseas this weekend between Northwestern and Nebraska. And yeah, you're going to settle into Connecticut playing Utah State with a 27.5-point line. Everybody gets in the way. Big Ten, Pac-12. We cannot wait for this.
Only on Sports Grid. Fantasy Sports Today.
The running back that appears to make the biggest jump maybe in the last 2 months, maybe in all of fantasy, honestly, Davis, is Dameon Pierce, who played for the University of Florida. And the beef that went on at Florida, Davis, is that people wanted to see him get the ball more. He really was never a primary running back at Florida. He's sort of a throwback guy in the sense that you give him the ball, he's never going to lose yards.
The Sports Grid Network. Ferrall, coast to coast.
This is yet, I'm told, at least the fourth different offense that Mayfield has to learn as a professional in 5 years. And from the very start, Ferrall, they kind of knew it. I'm told after 2 weeks, he was so dominant over Darnold. It wasn't bad, but the fact of the matter is his timing was good. I'm told a couple of the throws a little bit high. They feel that the timing will be better as these guys work together.
The Sports Grid Network.
It's time for another exciting edition of Today in Carver High History.
Certainly is, and we're going to go way back to start this one. How about 1936? Future Hall of Fame pitcher Bob Feller makes his major league debut, Scotty, for the Indians At 17 years old, he struck out 15. 1970, Roberto Clemente compiles his record second straight 5-hit game. Your boy could rake back in the day. 1980, Charles O. Finley sells the A's for $12.7 million to Walter Haas Jr., of course, the owner and CEO of Levi Strauss. 1982, Mariners pitcher Gaylord Perry ejected for throwing a spitball, marking for the first time he's been caught cheating despite being suspected of it for years. 1989, Dodgers beat the Expos 1-0 in 22 innings on a Rick Dempsey home run. That was the game where the Expos mascot, Yippee, was ejected in the 11th for bothering Tommy Lasorda, one of the all-time great mascot scenes of all time. 92, Dennis Eckersley, first pitcher to record 40 saves in 4 different seasons. 1993, McGriff and Justice are the 6 teammates to hit back-to-back homers twice in the same game. 2000, Bobby Bonds passed away of lung and brain cancer at 57. 2004, the U.S. women's softball beat Australia to win the gold medal. 2008, the women's basketball team also beat Australia. Lisa Leslie, Sue Bird, and Diana Taurasi. 2008, Angel Di Maria scored in the 58th minute. Argentina beat Nigeria to win the gold. 2017, Dodgers pitcher Rich Hill is perfect through 8, an error against the leadoff batter in the 9th, but recovers for a no-hitter. And in 2020, Bayern Munich, Scotty, won their 6th Champions League final. They beat Paris Saint-Germain 1-0. And that was, of course, in the COVID-shortened Champions League that year.
And in 1979, before Charlie Finley sold the A's, I went to his farm in LaPorte, Indiana, with a gigantic A's logo on the top of the roof of the farm. My father was friends with Finley, and I got to meet old Charlie Finley. How cool is that?